Hello friends, this is Nishant Gautam, Associate Professor from the Department of Pharmacology, Laureate Institute of Pharmacy. Today we will discuss about the pharmacological aspects of serotonin and its antagonists. It's a very vast topic, so for your convenience, I have divided into the three parts. So let us start with the first part of serotonin, that is also called as the 5-hydroxytryptamine. Friends, the main objective behind this discussion are to describe the pharmacology of serotonin and enumerate its related drugs. Then, to study the biosynthesis and metabolism of 5-hydroxytryptamine. Another objective behind this discussion is to focus on two types of mediator effects of serotonin, both of which play a role as neurotransmitters in the CNS and periphery, and also functions as local hormones. Actually, in case of both mediators, physiological significance and therapeutic relevance of various serotonin receptor and their subtypes is still being unrevealed. So, in our discussion, therefore, we will focus on more secure hypothesis, recognizing that the overall picture is far completed. Another objective behind this discussion to get the knowledge about numerous drugs in current use act wholly or partially on the 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors. These 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors are identified only the fewest, not more than the 14 subtypes still being identified. And the another objective behind this discussion is to focus on the classification of main 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors. They are classified as 5-hydroxytryptamine receptor 1, 5-HT2, 5-HT3, 5-HT4, 5-HT5, 5-HT6 and the 5-HT7, and further they are categorized into their subtypes. So here we will focus on the classification of these main types of receptors and their subtypes with that of their individual anatomical locations and the functions subserved by these types of the serotonin receptors. Then we will focus on clinical use of the drugs acting on these types of the 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors. Further, we will discuss the clinical conditions in which serotonin plays a role, such that the pharmacology of serotonin with emphasis on clinical use. Also, we will make a discussion about the adverse drug reaction and the interaction of serotonin antagonists. Friends, in short, our main objective is to deal with the metabolism, distribution, and the possible physiological role of serotonin in the periphery as well as in CNS with the different types of 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors and the drugs that act on these 5-hydroxytryptamine or the serotonin receptors. Also, a very interesting part of this chapter, we will discuss the several natural ways to optimize our serotonin level for a healthy life. Now, before to continue the discussion about serotonin and their antagonists, Let us go through the milestones of this chapter. Friends, we will discuss systematically and accordingly one by one as per the following order. First, we will discuss the brief introduction about the serotonin. Then, we will study about the biosynthesis, storage, release, and the metabolism of serotonin. Then we will study the clinical manifestations of serotonin pathophysiology. Then we will study about the serotonin receptors and the subtypes of these receptors. Then we will study about the drugs acting on these serotonergic receptors. Then we will go through a very interesting topic of this chapter, that is the natural ways to optimize the serotonin level for the healthy life. So let us start with the brief introduction of serotonin. In 1948, Rapport identified a serum agent that affected the vascular tone, and Rapport called it the serotonin. Later, in 1950, the scientist Rapport identified its chemical composition and named it the 5-hydroxytryptamine. Actually, the word serotonin is composed of two words. The first word is sero, that means serum, and the second word is the tonin, that means constricting substance or the constricting factor. So, what is the meaning of serotonin? Serotonin means the serum constricting factor. The word serotonin was the name given to vasoconstrictor substance which appeared in serum when blood clotted. And the another name given is the antheramine, to smooth muscle contracting substance present in enterochromaffin cells of gut of the mucosa. Then in the early 1950s, both serotonin and antheramine were identified chemically as 5-hydroxytryptamine, that is the 5-HT. First, it, that means the serotonin, was shown to originate from the platelets. Then subsequently it found in gastrointestinal tract and central nervous system. And this serotonin shown to function both as a neurotransmitter and as a local hormone in the peripheral vascular system. And by the research, it is shown that the 90% of body's content of the serotonin is localized in the intestine, and most of the rest is in the platelets and the brain. In continuation to this, let us know about the distribution of 5-hydroxytryptamine. Majorly, the site and tissues rich in the 5-hydroxytryptamine are: number 1, platelets; number 2, the central nervous system. Here, the serotonin acts as the neurotransmitter. Also, a very important fact in the CNS, the pineal gland utilizes serotonin as precursor of the melatonin. And number 3, it is present in the gastrointestinal tract, that is in the chromaffin cells and enteric neurons. The serotonin also found in the wasps and scorpion sting, and is widely distributed in invertebrates and plants. Plants like banana, pear, pineapple, tomato, stinging nettle, and the cowhage. Now, let us brief about major site and tissue where the 5-hydroxytryptamine distributed. First, in the blood. In the blood, the 5-hydroxytryptamine is present in higher concentration in the platelets. In the platelets, the 5-hydroxytryptamine is accumulated from the plasma by an active transport system, and the 5-hydroxytryptamine is released by the platelets when it gets aggregated at the site of tissue damage. Then the second site is in the CNS. In the CNS, the serotonin acts as a transmitter and is present in higher concentration in the localized region of midbrain. The serotonin here is synthesized by neurons of Raphi nuclei from a amino acid, that is the tryptophan. The Raphi nuclei project via medial forebrain bundle to many parts of the cortex, hippocampus, basal ganglia, limbic system, and hypothalamus. The caudally situated cells project to cerebellum, medulla, and spinal cord. So, this is how the rapid nuclei make the projection, and through this projection, the serotonergic system regulates the neurohumoral transmission, and itself it acts as a neurotransmitter in this system. Further, the third major site in the wall of intestine. Research suggests that over the 90% of total amount of the body's serotonin present in the mucosal enterochromaffin cells in gut, that is the endocrine cells with distinctive staining properties. These are the cells derived from the neural crest and resemble those of adrenal medulla. They are interspersed with mucosal cells, many in stomach and small intestine. Some 5-hydroxytryptamine also occurs in nerve cells of mesenteric plexus, where it functions as a excitatory neurotransmitter. So, this is how at the three major sites the serotonin or 5-hydroxytryptamine is distributed within the human body. So, this distributed 5-hydroxytryptamine or the serotonin has some important pharmacological and physiological role in the human body. Like the serotonin plays a major role in number one, regulation of platelet aggregation. Number two, the serotonin functions as neurotransmitter in the central nervous system, where it regulates the neurohumoral transmission in the serotonergic projections of the brain. Number three, the 5-hydroxytryptamine or the serotonin is a major regulator of the smooth muscles in the cardiovascular system and the gastrointestinal tract. A very important and interesting fact about serotonin is that in humans, serotonin acts as a trophic factor, starts soon after conception and is directly related to the production of serotonin by mother's enterochromaffin cells in the gut, and it's a transfer into the platelets in mother's blood. At the same time, from the very early stage of gestation, fetus also starts synthesizing its own serotonin in a special group of nuclei of the midbrain. Soon after, serotonergic neurons distribute the serotonin throughout the brain and the body of fetus. In turn, it increases division, migration, and maturation of both central and peripheral tissues. Now, after this much discussion, a question arises in our mind: what is the serotonin? Actually, the serotonin is a biogenic amine produced by the conversion of amino acid tryptophan in the presence of an enzyme called as the tryptophan hydroxylase, denoted as TPH, that exists both in brain and bone. Till now, this enzyme tryptophan hydroxylase is of two types. Tryptophan hydroxylase 1, that is found in peripheral organs and central nervous system. The another type, tryptophan hydroxylase 2, that is present only in brain. Further, the endocrine cells derived 5-hydroxytryptamine acts also as a hormone which perform multiple functions including inhibition of osteoblast proliferation and promotion of hepatic regeneration. The chemical formula of 5-hydroxytryptamine is N2OC10H12, such that in this formula N2OC10H12, the nitrogen is 15.8970%, oxygen is 9.0793%, carbon 68.1598%, and the hydrogen is 6.8638% is present. In continuation to this, in the human body, the serotonin is synthesized and located in two compartments, and both the compartments are separated by blood-brain barrier. Let us discuss about both of the compartments one by one. The first compartment, also called as the peripheral compartment, it contains the majority, that is about the 90% of serotonin in the body. The peripheral serotonin is synthesized in enterochromaffin cells of the gastrointestinal tract. Then the second compartment is the central compartment. Also, you can say the serotonin gets synthesized in the central nervous system, which is considered as the second compartment of the serotonin synthesizing location. Here, in some reticular neurons tends to be clustered along with the Reti area that synthesize the serotonin within the serotonergic neurons. So, this is how the serotonin is synthesized and located in the two compartments of the human body. Now, let us discuss about the biosynthesis of 5-hydroxytryptamine, also called as the serotonin. The serotonin mainly synthesized by the precursor called as the tryptophan. This tryptophan is mainly available in the human body through the diet sources. Finally, this tryptophan, which is available in human body from the diet source, in presence of a specialized type of the enzyme called as the tryptophan hydroxylase, get converted into the 5-hydroxytryptophan. This 5-hydroxytryptophan undergoes the process of decarboxylation in presence of the L-aromatic acid decarboxylase and converted into the 5-hydroxytryptamine, that is also called as the serotonin. So this is how the formation or the biosynthesis of serotonin or the 5-hydroxytryptamine takes place from the precursor tryptophan. Further, this formed 5-hydroxytryptamine by the action of monoamine oxidase denoted as MAO get metabolized into a metabolite form called as the 5-hydroxyindole acetaldehyde. This metabolite of 5-HT, that is the 5-hydroxyindole acetaldehyde, by the action of aldehyde dehydrogenase get converted into the 5-hydroxyindole acetic acid denoted as 5-HIAA. This 5-hydroxyindole acetic acid is the main metabolite of the serotonin, which is get excreted from the human body by the urine. Now, before to discuss in brief about biosynthesis and metabolism of serotonin, please wait a while and keep remember previous flowchart of biosynthesis and metabolism of 5-hydroxytryptamine. In same order, we will brief one by one or step-wise step, we will brief the same. What happens? The 5-hydroxytryptamine is present in the diet. Most of this is metabolized before entering the bloodstream. Endogenous 5-hydroxytryptamine arises from a biosynthetic pathway similar to that which generates the noradrenaline and norepinephrine, except that the precursor amino acid is tryptophan instead of tyrosine. So what happens? The precursor in case of 5-hydroxytryptamine is tryptophan, and in case of noradrenaline the precursor is tyrosine. Then this precursor tryptophan is converted to 5-hydroxytryptophan, where in chromaffin cells and neurons, but not in the platelets. So later we will discuss how platelets accumulating the 5-hydroxytryptamine. But here the conversion in platelet is not take place. So this conversion takes place by the action of a specialized type of the enzyme called as the tryptophan hydroxylase. It is an enzyme confined to the 5-hydroxytryptamine producing cells. Then the 5-hydroxytryptophan so formed is then undergoes the process of decarboxylation, and it is decarboxylated to the 5-hydroxytryptamine by a ubiquitous amino acid decarboxylase enzyme that is also participate in the synthesis of catecholamines and histamine. Just point note over here, this enzyme amino acid decarboxylase also participate in the synthesis of catecholamines and histamine. Then, as we discussed in the second point, the conversion of tryptophan to the 5-hydroxytryptophan is not takes place in the platelets. So how platelets is getting the serotonin or 5-hydroxytryptamine? Actually, the platelets and neurons possess a high affinity 5-hydroxytryptamine uptake mechanism, and these platelets become loaded with that of the 5-hydroxytryptamine or serotonin by the process of diffusion. This diffusion takes place inside from the plasma by active transport system. Whenever these platelets passes through the intestinal circulation, where local concentration is relatively high of the serotonin, then at such places the diffusion process takes place. Through this diffusion process, the platelet accumulates the concentration of serotonin from the plasma. Then let us discuss about the degradation of the 5-hydroxytryptamine. The degradation or the metabolism of serotonin occurs mainly through oxidative deamination, and this oxidative deamination is mainly catalyzed by a specialized type of the enzyme called as the monoamine oxidase. It followed by the oxidation of 5-hydroxyindole acetic acid, the pathway being same as that of the noradrenaline catabolism. Then this final metabolite, that is the 5-hydroxyindole acetic acid, is excreted in urine and serves as an indicator of 5-hydroxytryptamine production in the body. Also, it is used in the diagnosis of carcinoid syndrome. Now, again the same, but it is for the interest of some who want to know the structure of each component formed during the process of biosynthesis of 5-hydroxytryptamine or serotonin. So let us start to summarize again one by one. The precursor tryptophan, which is obtained from the dietary source by the action of tryptophan hydroxylase, a specialized enzyme, converts the tryptophan into the 5-hydroxytryptophan. This 5-hydroxytryptophan so formed goes under the process of decarboxylation with the help of the enzyme called as the aromatic acid decarboxylase. This enzyme converts the 5-hydroxytryptophan to the 5-hydroxytryptamine, that is also called as the serotonin. So as the formation of serotonin takes place, also we can say this is how the biosynthesis of serotonin takes place. This formed serotonin undergoes the process of metabolism. This serotonin metabolizes with the help of an enzyme called as the monoamine oxidase. This monoamine oxidase metabolizes the serotonin into the 5-hydroxyindole acetaldehyde. This formed metabolite, that is the 5-hydroxyindole acetaldehyde, by the action of another enzyme, aldehyde dehydrogenase, get converted into the another metabolite form called as the 5-hydroxyindole acetic acid, denoted as the 5-HIAA, which is the main metabolite of serotonin or the 5-hydroxytryptamine, get eliminated from the body through the urine. Now, after the discussion about synthesis and metabolism, let us discuss the mechanism involving storage, release and reuptake of 5-hydroxytryptamine, which is very similar to that of the noradrenaline. So, let us discuss one by one all the mechanism. First, the storage of the synthesized 5-hydroxytryptamine. This 5-hydroxytryptamine is often stored in the storage granules, just like the catecholamines, in neurons and chromaffin cells as a co-transmitter together with the various peptide hormones, such as somatostatin, substance P, or vasoactive intestinal polypeptide. Then this stored 5-hydroxytryptamine in granules, after the conduction of nerve impulse, get released by the process of exocytosis, and all the vascular contents including 5-hydroxytryptamine are poured out. Then the autoreceptors of co-transmitters inhibits this release of the 5-hydroxytryptamine. Then, after the release of 5-hydroxytryptamine, the process for its uptake takes place to optimize the release of serotonin. This process of uptake takes place in two ways. Let us discuss one by one. The first uptake takes place by active amine pump, that is the serotonin transporter, denoted as SERT, also known as the serotonin reuptake transporter. This is a type of monoamine transporter pump located presynaptically on serotonergic axon terminals that transports the serotonin from synaptic cleft back to the presynaptic neurons. It is also believed that this pump serves as an index of serotonergic innervation. This pump transports the 5-hydroxytryptamine by a sodium coupled mechanism. It is also operates at the membrane of platelets. Therefore, 5-hydroxytryptamine does not circulate in free form in the plasma. Already we discussed that the platelets do not synthesize 5-hydroxytryptamine but acquire it by uptake during the passage through intestinal blood vessels. Then the second process of uptake is the vesicular uptake. The 5-hydroxytryptamine is stored within the storage vesicles. The membrane of intracellular vesicles has another amine pump, that is the vesicular monoamine transporter 2, which transports the 5-hydroxytryptamine from cytoplasm to interior of storage vesicles. This vascular monoamine transporter 2 transports monoamines by exchanging with hydrogen ion, and its uptake at vascular membrane by vascular monoamine transporter 2 is inhibited by the reserpine. This reserpine causes the depletion of catecholamines as well as the 5-hydroxytryptamine. Then the degrading enzyme monoamine oxidase is also common for both the catecholamines and the 5-hydroxytryptamine. The isoenzyme, that is monoamine oxidase A, preferentially metabolizes the 5-hydroxytryptamine. So this is how in the two ways the uptake of serotonin or the 5-hydroxytryptamine takes place. Now let us know about the various functions of serotonin. The serotonin plays the role in the smooth muscle contraction, peristalsis, vomiting, control of appetite, hemostasis, and also it plays the role in the platelet aggregation. In continuation to this, the serotonin plays the important role in regulating the sleep cycle, memory regulation, plays a role in the hallucination, mood stabilization, sensitization of the nociceptors, and the perception of the pain. As already we discussed, the 5-hydroxytryptamine majorly present at two sites, brain and gut. So let us compare and discuss its role in both the areas where it present. In the brain, it acts as an inhibitory neurotransmitter that regulates mood, fear, anxiety, feeling of relaxation, mental focus, learning ability, and the clarity of thoughts. On the other hand, in the gut, the serotonin acts as a local hormone or the hormonal messenger that regulates satiety, food craving, digestion, nutrient absorption, and the peristalsis. So this was the comparative role and the function of 5-hydroxytryptamine in both the area in the brain and in the gut. Now, let us discuss the various serotonin pathways one by one. The serotonin pathways that are located in the brainstem area, that is the raphe nuclei, these neurons control muscle activity, and the 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors trigger vomiting. Then the serotonin neurons in frontal cortex area mainly responsible for the regulation of cognition and the memory functions. Then on another hand, the serotonin neurons in limbic area mainly regulates the mood function. Here it is a very interesting thing. The selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors works on this pathway to treat the depression. Then the enteric neurons mainly regulates the gastrointestinal tract motility and smooth muscle contraction, so plays a major role in the peristalsis. Then the serotonin also acts on the chemoreceptor trigger zone, which affects the vomiting physiology. Now let us discuss about the serotonergic receptors. Actually, the actions of 5-hydroxytryptamine are numerous and complex. Also, there is considerable species variation. This complexity reflects a profusion of 5-hydroxytryptamine receptor subtypes which has been revealed in recent years. The two scientists, Gadam and Picrelli, in 1957 classified the 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors into the two categories. The first one is the musculotropic receptors, also called as the D type of receptors. And the second one is the neurotropic receptors, also called as the M type of the receptors. Both the scientists classified on the basis of their blockade by the dibenzylene, that is also called as the phenoxybenzylene, and the morphine respectively. Then The classical 5-hydroxytryptamine antagonist, that is the methylsergide and the cyproheptadine, block the D type of receptors. Then subsequently 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors were differentiated by their high or low affinity for the tritium, that is the 3H, which is a radioactive isotope. The 5-hydroxytryptamine in radioligand binding studies, they are made differentiated on the basis of their high or low affinity. Then the present system of classifying the 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors is based on the molecular characterization and the cloning of the receptor cDNAs. So what is cDNAs? cDNAs are the complementary DNA which is synthesized from a single stranded RNAs. Then some of the subtype of 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors have specific tissue distribution, but certain tissues express more than one subtypes of the serotonergic or the 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors. So that's all for the day. We will continue the same chapter 5-hydroxytryptamine and their antagonists in its second part. Till then, revise the topic from the book. Have a nice day and thank you.